6. Bond stands alone.
Now Booker with Tucker on him. Throws it up for 8. Shot blocked by Antetokounmpo. What a block from Giannis.
17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open. Chicago with the lead.
Minute remaining. And they're putting Curry in the pick and roll, trying to get him on Irving. Irving and Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown.
We're sending it in, Jerome. That's for damn sure.
Yes. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Taproom Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Jordan. Stacks on stacks on stacks, lads. Joined, as always, with my guy, Mr. Big Ball and Ben Larson. Live and direct, Sunday night, Week 13. One more game left on Monday night between the Browns and Broncos, which we will preview. If you're new to the show, welcome. This is the Sunday night show. We recap and react to the NFL action of the week. And if there's any baseball news, which we did have a signing earlier today, Ben. Frankie Montas, 2 years, $34 million to the New York Metropolitans.
Oh, I did not see that.
So
How did I miss that? I even looked at baseball news today.
it literally happened maybe an hour and a half ago.
Oh, must be why. There we go.
Yeah, it was very, very recent. So, not a ton of big news. We're still waiting on Juan Soto to sign. We obviously talked about Blake Snell on Tuesday. Or was that last Sunday? Last Sunday. That was last Sunday, I think, that the news dropped. So, yeah, man.
Dodgers deferring more with Edman.
Yeah, there's not a ton going on in the baseball world right now, but we will keep you guys up to date with that. As far as NFL, we had the Thanksgiving games, we had the first ever Black Friday game, and then we had a Sunday of football. I wouldn't say crazy. We had a few crazy games. We had one game go to overtime. But yeah. Steven said, "What's up, boys? Cards hat is fresh. Got the beard trimmed up. Looking dapper. Thank you." Yes.
There we go.
My beard was getting out of control, dude. After a while, I can't stand it, so I had to trim it up finally.
That's why I don't do the beard. So,
I mean, I like when it's long. I think I look better when it's long, but it's like it bothers me, dude. You know what I mean? So it's tough.
See, and like you're at that stage like right now where it doesn't itch. Like you've gotten past that initial itch, and that's what I can't do.
Yeah. Yep.
At that level, it's just it just kills me.
Well, this
mustache is even itching.
When it's this short, it doesn't bother. Like it doesn't bother me. But when I start to get it long, it gets crazy.
Yeah.
Steven said he's got Uncle Mike here showing him your stream. Cigars are flowing. Fuck yeah, dude.
Oh.
Hopefully you have some bourbon going with it too. I know you do, Steven, because you're a real one. So hey, welcome Uncle Mike. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us, Steven. Always nice having you in the chat hanging out. So
always. And now I know what I'm going to do after this podcast. A cigar and bourbon. It sounds delightful.
There you go. You don't have work tomorrow, Ben?
I do.
Buddy had
a cigar and bourbon.
Dude had a week off, and he's what are you gonna do? Do you have to go to the office tomorrow or not?
No. Tuesday, Friday. So.
Oh, okay. You're good.
Yeah, not too bad.
You're good. All right, let's hop into the games. Let's start. Oh, hold on. Before we do that, we do need to talk about Matt Eberflus being fired.
Before we talk about that, I got a special beer for tonight since it is now the Christmas time.
Oh, nice. Yes.
After Thanksgiving, I did go out and I got a couple Christmas beers, so I'll have another one on Tuesday, for that show. But tonight is Paperback, and Paperback is known for their interesting names and can art. They're the ones. Jordan, you've had this one, the bunny with the chainsaw.
Which one is that?
It's an IPA from Paperback, but it's got.
Is it a winter IPA?
No.
Oh,
no.
Okay. Okay.
but it's one of their their like long time IPAs that they always brew.
Yeah.
But this one is a West Coast IPA. So this is 7.2%. So it's a little bit on the higher side, but it's called Santa Was a Werewolf. And the can art is just it's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Oh yeah, that is dope.
Santa the werewolf fucking destroying elves. You've got a wicked Rudolph there, and you've got a snowman on fire in the background.
Hell yeah.
So
Irv said
great can art.
cigars and yak are the way to go.
That's cigars and chalk. I don't know why you'd want to drink fucking chalk, but
No, yak.
I know.
I know he loves the fucking cognac. I don't know. Irv's crazy, bro.
It tastes like chalk to me.
Yeah, it tastes. Dude, I can't do Hennessy anymore. I had like one bad experience with it, and now I can't fucking.
The only time I drank it was on the show with him, and can't do it.
Yeah, no, not a fan. All right, let's hop into. Well, let's talk about Eberflus news first.
Yep.
So, if you're living under a rock, Matt Eberflus was fired the day after. Just an absolute debacle to end the game against Detroit. A game in which, Chicago had a chance to, at least tie it and get it into overtime and or win the game, and didn't even get a fucking playoff to end the game.
Sitting on a timeout.
Yeah, absolutely. And, just it's just a myriad of issues within the Chicago Bears organization all year, and it finally came to a head, and finally they part ways. First time ever in franchise history, parting ways, firing a head coach in the middle of the season. What's your thoughts on the Matt Eberflus firing? I
mean, it was an odd hire from the get-go. We kind of talked about that, earlier on. But it's about time to have a QB of Caleb's caliber and not utilize him the way that he should be is I don't want to say criminal, but it's almost criminal.
It is. Yeah.
And for the dumb play calling, the sitting on the timeout, I think was just the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yep.
And it's about time. I'm surprised it's the first mid-season firing, but I thought this should have probably been done in week 7.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
well, I think it should have been done before they even drafted Caleb Williams, because Ben, this is my issue with it, and we talked about this before, is that the last thing you want to do, like, he was obviously like a lame duck head coach going into this season. Like, the only thing that would have saved his job is probably getting into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have a rookie quarterback, right, who is going to have to learn a new system next year. Mm-hmm. So why didn't you just start this from the beginning? Like, get a new head coach, draft a quarterback, get the head coach for that quarterback, and give them 3 to 4 years together, right, and allow them to grow together. Now you're going to have to go find a new coach, and Caleb's going to have to learn a whole new system in his second year. So basically toss this year out. Yep. Next year is really another almost rookie year, you could say. But the last thing you want to do is have a quarterback who's just changing coaches every fucking offseason, dude. And it's just a recipe for fucking disaster. And, I think the general manager, Ryan Poles, I think he needs to be held accountable as well. I mean, if I was the owner, I'd fire his ass too. Yeah. Like this offensive line is fucking terrible. And you let Matt Eberflus stay. You let him hire Matt Waldron, which was a fucking terrible hire as the offensive coordinator. And Matt Eberflus has to take the blame for that. It was part of the reason why he got fired. Yeah. But I just think going forward, because his defense is good enough to win games, right? And look at how many one-score games the Bears have been in. They could easily have 4 more wins. You know what I mean? Like the Hail Mary last Sunday, the fucking loss to the Vikings, the loss to the fucking Packers where they get the kick blocked. I mean, that's 4 games right there they could have easily won.
Yep.
And now you're going to go into a whole new situation next year. But you have to get this head coach hire right, dude. You have to nail this head coach hire. And do you trust Ryan Poles to do that? Do you trust him to get the head coach hire right? I don't know.
Well, and where do you go? Do you go to a defensive coach,
No, because
hoping that he can
Eberflus
keep
is a
that?
defensive coach.
Yeah, no, but hoping that you can keep that defense is strong and then hire a strong offensive coordinator, or do you go for an offensive coach and have to, hope that that defense stays strong?
I think the obvious answer is you go after Ben Johnson. He's number one offensive
Yeah.
coordinator of the Lions. And if he takes a job, perfect, let's go. If he doesn't, I don't know what option number 2 is. Maybe go get Cliff Kingsbury. He does have experience with Caleb. He has worked with Caleb. So maybe that's a route they go.
Yeah.
I think those are the 2 best options in my opinion, but who knows what direct. I mean, you never know with the Bears, man.
Yeah. Haven't made a good hire in how many years?
It's been a long time. Steven said Cliff would have called timeout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think 99% of the coaches would have called timeout.
Yeah, I don't even think Eberflus knew how much time was on the clock.
No. He's fucking out there looking at some snow bunny in the front row.
I don't know what the fuck he's doing, but yeah, that was terrible. But yeah, I would go Ben Johnson or Cliff Kingsbury. That would be my first 2 options, and then kind of go from there. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I think those are the 2 best options. Like I don't know who else is like worthy of a head coaching job right now that it just wows you. Trying to think off the top of my head, and there's like no.
Do you go back to college and go for the offensive coordinator of the old offensive coordinator of the Chiefs? Starts with a B. Can't remember his name.
Eric Bieniemy?
Bieniemy, yeah.
I don't know, man. Me and Irvin and I talked about this earlier in the year, and he's had so many like head coaching interviews, and like we all just assumed that like, oh, this guy keeps getting skipped over. He keeps getting skipped over, but maybe there's a reason why he's getting skipped over. And like, he was only at Washington for a year. Their offense didn't look phenomenal by any stretch of the imagination. Look how much better they look this year. Obviously, they have Jaden Daniels. But he's offensive coordinator at UCLA now, and UCLA's offense, I mean, they look like shit. So
doesn't look great, yeah.
So, I mean, maybe all his success is kind of due to Andy Reid. You know what I mean? Maybe that is a fucking terrible hire. Plus, the Bears did have Matt Nagy as a head coach, and he is a offensive disciple of Andy Reid. So I don't know if you want to go that route again, given the history of it. I think Cliff and Ben Johnson are the 2 obvious choices, but you're probably you have head coach opening in New Orleans, right? Which nobody's probably gonna want. It's probably gonna be one of those lame duck jobs that someone that is gonna get fired in 3 years will take it. You're probably gonna have a head coach opening in Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably gonna have a head coach opening. Well, you do have one in for the Jets. You may have a head coach opening in Cleveland, and Kevin Stefanski's if Cleveland does fire Kevin Stefanski, I would actually. That would be a great hire to go get Kevin Stefanski.
Push for that, yeah.
Because the Browns' woes are not due to Kevin Stefanski this year.
No,
at all. So I actually think that would be a good hire. Who else might be out of a job? Or what other teams?
Raiders.
Oh yes, maybe. But we talked about that. That's probably Dion's landing spot if they do part with AP.
Giants.
Yes, the Giants. That'll be one. I think they go after Bill Belichick though.
Yeah. I think Cincinnati.
Oh, Cowboys.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I mean, dude, there's gonna be like 7 to 8 head coach openings this year.
Yeah.
And Ben Johnson's gonna be number 1 on everyone's list.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be able to pick and choose which team he goes to.
Yep. And honestly, if you're Ben Johnson, what other opportunities are gonna open are better than the Bears situation? I don't think there is one. Because you have your franchise quarterback.
Yeah, looking at all the teams that we just said.
That's the best opening.
And it's a young franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's the best opening right there. So Ben Johnson number 1, Cliff number 2.
Yep. Unless you want to go to a team that's gonna get the first, second overall pick, and then you can draft your quarterback. But
That's
nobody's
true.
gonna be as good as Caleb.
Yeah, I don't think any of the quarterbacks this year are as good or better than Caleb or Jaden Daniels last year, or even Drake May.
Mhm.
I think all three of those guys would have gone number 1 this year.
Interesting. Okay.
So we'll see. There's gonna be a lot of openings.
Yeah.
All right, let's hop into this on the Sunday night game. We had San Francisco at Buffalo. Buffalo laying 6.5. The total was 45. Close 45.5 some spots.
Yeah, that sucked.
Fucking man. Dude, that shit should have gone over 45, dude.
Dude, fucking 7.5-minute final drive.
That's fucking
Sorry,
crazy.
7:55. So almost 8-minute final drive, and then they just ran the ball, ran the clock.
I thought for sure that shit was gonna fucking go over, dude.
Yep.
And they missed a kick, and Jake Moody missed fucking like 3 kicks, dude. If he just hits one of those,
two kicks, and then the penalty at the end there on the punt return.
yeah, this shit
Any
should
of those hit.
This shit should have flown over every number.
Yep.
Every number.
I was looking at like with 7.5 minutes when the drive started, it was sitting at, or maybe it was during the Niners drive. It was sitting at 54.5 too. Like super high.
And it's crazy too because like the Niners moved the ball. Like they should have put up a lot more points. They just turned the ball over too much. That did them in. They had like how many turnovers? 2, 3 turnovers? 3 fumbles. 3 fumbles lost.
Yeah.
And 2 missed field goals. So I mean like this game should have been a lot closer than it actually was. The ball just didn't bounce their way, unfortunately. But that's how things go. And the Bills get another W. And here they are. And these are 2 teams going in complete opposite directions. The Bills look like a contender in the AFC, and the Niners, who were just in the Super Bowl a year ago, a lot of it is due to injury, but they are just in complete disarray, and they're spiraling out of control, Ben. I mean, this team their season's basically over.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely over. They were saying on the game, 37 games lost to Pro Bowl players from last year.
Yep. It's unfortunate.
And that's just tough. And now CMC is done for the year. They're saying it looks like a torn PCL, and I've had a torn PCL before. That is no fun. You cannot plant, you cannot turn, you have to go straight. And that's just another injury for him. Hopefully that means that while he's out, his Achilles can heal a little bit more too. But man, a lot of talent lost there with CMC out. And he had one explosive play today. But other than that, he's just looked like a shadow of himself from last year. So
yeah,
it's unfortunate there.
Might be done for his career, to be honest.
I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest.
I don't know if he'll like hang him up for good, but I don't think he'll ever be the same.
No,
as he once was. Steven said, "Fuck this game," because Steven played Niners plus 19.5 live.
Oof. I almost played minus 21.5 pre-game.
Yeah.
At plus 600. Man, fuck. Should not been a puss and just gone for it. But also hell of a game for Josh Allen. Second person to throw, catch, and rush for a touchdown in a single game.
I mean, Josh Allen's him.
Yep.
Josh Allen is he's a hell of a fucking quarterback, man. That's why the Bills are as good as they are. Because I'm telling you right now, if he wasn't their quarterback, they wouldn't be nearly as good.
Nope. So what does this do for Brock Purdy next year?
I mean, you already know my thoughts on Brock Purdy. I think he's very mid, and I think it's his flaws are being exposed this year because of all the talent falling off around him.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a thing, dude, is like if he's making elite quarterback money, you're not going to be able to have all these kind of all pros all around you. You know what I mean? So like, this is the kind of the quarterback and the team that you're going to have. Yeah. So, I think as far as the Niners are concerned, like I personally would be very hesitant on signing him to like a franchise type money. And to be honest, like I think Kyle Shanahan, I think he's very smart with quarterbacks and stuff, and I think he sees it too. I think he knows. And that's why I'm saying, like, Ben, it would not shock me in the least, dude, if the Niners had a top 10 pick and took a fucking quarterback, dude.
Yeah.
Like it would not shock me because that's just who Kyle is, dude.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like Ben, they could also like re-sign Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, look what he's doing in Minnesota. And you could say the same thing, like Minnesota has a ton of talent, but Minnesota doesn't have the offensive line that the Niners have. They don't have the running game that the Niners have when healthy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that could be an option. Even though Darnold's definitely going to get a pay raise for sure. But I don't know. What do you think? You're the Niners fan.
I mean, I'd be hesitant to give him a bag, right now. Obviously his play last year was much better than his play this year. But you're 100% right. It's the accumulation of what's surrounding him. And I think we're going to have to see a lot of, well, maybe not a lot of guys, but a few key players go next year because of contracts that are going to be
cap casualties.
Yeah. And Ayuk starts his big deal next year. CMC, I think, gets a pay raise, or did he get a pay raise this year?
I think he's still on his contract, but the thing with football is like it's not a lot of guaranteed money, so getting out from under it's not hard to do.
Yeah.
But like Bosa's getting a hell of a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. Kittle's getting a hell of a lot of money.
Yep. And
Debo's getting a hell of a lot of money.
And Debo's trade value is just absolutely plummeted, dude. Like I don't think anybody would want to trade for him.
No. So I mean, I think
I will say one route I wouldn't go if I was the Niners, and that's Aaron Rodgers. Steven said we talked about this last week. He gets paid, but not with the Niners. I don't see any scenario where Aaron Rodgers quarterbacks the Niners next year, though.
No.
I
how's the QB class next year?
The year after?
Yeah.
God damn, I've got to think off the top of my head who the fuck is draft eligible. Oh my god, dude.
You going Archie Manning?
Arch would be available.
Yeah. Is Ewers?
Ewers is eligible this year if he doesn't come out. Arch would probably be the number one quarterback. But I mean, we haven't even really seen him play a full season, so I don't even know, dude. I mean, maybe Jaden Maiava from USC. He's looked good. I mean, obviously he has some fucking flaws, but he's going to be the starting quarterback next year for USC. And, Lincoln Riley, I mean, the reputation speaks for itself. Like, look at the quarterbacks he's put out. Yep. So I would say that's an option. Sellers from South Carolina. But yeah, obviously Arch is probably going to be like the most coveted of all of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but who knows? Like, he could come out and not be good at all next year and changes everything. But yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Like, I don't think this class is necessarily like great, but I do think there is good quarterbacks in this class. They found Brock Purdy in the 6th round, dude. 7th round. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure there's a guy out there that fucking, Kyle sees and is like, okay, I could work with this.
Yeah. If I get the opportunity, I could work with this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think he at least has one more year. I think because of all the injuries, that really does kind of hinder your ability.
Yeah.
But his play calling has gone stale, and that's something that really needs to wake up.
Has it gone stale though, or is it just like the talent around the team is just like hella depleted because everyone's hurt? And let's keep it a buck, dude. Like, not having Trent Williams is fucking massive.
Oh yeah.
And it shows. Like every game he doesn't play, I think the Niners have lost. Like in his Niner tenure, I'm almost positive they fucking lost every game he hasn't played.
Yeah, it would be surprising. Um,
Because I think that's a big part of the Niners' issues too. Is like not only even when they have Trent Williams, like the right side of that line fucking sucks. And CJ's talked about it before that the center, they have a rookie center, and in Kyle's system, the center is like in charge of like all the protection and all that stuff. So like that position needs like he has to learn it, and so who knows? I just have a hard time believing that the Niners move on from Brock Purdy though, dude.
That they do or they don't.
I have a hard time believing that they do move on from him. That I think he is going to be the Niners quarterback for the foreseeable future.
Yeah. Yeah, well, hopefully this kind of deducts his pay a little bit so they can afford to to keep that offense strong.
Yeah. Yep. All right, let's move on to the next game. Philly at Baltimore. Philly closed 3-point dogs. The total was 50. The total goes under. Philly wins outright 24-19. And is it time to start having a discussion about Justin Tucker, Ben? He missed quite a few field goals today.
He missed 2 today, right?
Yep.
2 for 4. And an extra point. Yeah.
He did. Yeah. Is it time for Baltimore to move on from Justin Tucker, who was once considered the greatest kicker of all time?
Yeah. Well, in his heyday, he was, and I think it could be time. Let's see, how long has he been in the season now?
It's crazy how like fast he declined though. Like last year, he was nails.
Yeah.
And then this year, it's just like a totally different. It's like a fucking alien abducted his body, and it's like somebody else in there. It's like Jake Moody fucking entered his body, dude.
So he's played 13 seasons.
Bro, Ben, it's not just him too. Like Younghoe Koo is like missing field goals left and right, and that dude was nails too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, just looking at his numbers, the decline of them is absolutely insane. I mean, his best year was in 2016, but his second best year was in 2021, where he was 94.6% effective on field goals. That dropped to 86, still not bad. 86.5 in 2023, but he's at 70.4%. 16% is massive.
Yeah, that's huge, dude.
Yeah. And it's all from distance. He's 3 for 3 between 20 and 29 yards, 7 for 7 between 30 and 39 yards. Once he gets to 40, he's 5 for 8. And then 50 plus, he's 4 for 9.
Insane.
And it's just his leg is getting older.
Yeah.
He is 35 and has played for 13 years. I think it's getting close to that end of the career. And that's a long. He's got a Super Bowl, right?
Who? Justin Tucker? Yeah.
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 Yeah. So it's been a long, successful career.
Yeah, it's just crazy, like how he's just fucking plummeted, though, dude.
Yeah.
Like just mind-boggling.
I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for one more and just kind of fizzles out from there.
Yeah.
Speaking of kicker, Niners need a new fucking kicker.
Dude, I'd be shocked if Jake Moody's on the roster tomorrow.
Yeah.
Steven said $6 million a year, second highest paid kicker. That's yeah, dude.
What's his contract? Like length.
Well, I mean it's football, so like you're not guaranteed. So you could just fucking cut him tomorrow, and he's not guaranteed the whole contract. I mean, he's probably already been paid his guaranteed money, so pretty
Yeah, 10.8 million guaranteed on that contract.
I mean, he's probably already been paid it. So
yeah, if they cut him this year, then they have 7.517 dead cap next year, 4.64 the following year, and 1.7 the year after. There's a potential out after this season
with no dead cap, or is still dead cap?
with 7.5 dead cap.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world, but that's a big thing with the NFL contracts is like the dead cap. Like some teams, like for example, Debo. Like Debo would have been a good trade candidate last year, but the Niners couldn't trade him because if they traded him, it would have been like $23 million dead cap, and like you don't want to take that fucking dead cap hit when you need to use that money to fill your roster. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, man, Jesus. Even next year, his dead cap would be 31.5 million.
Are you serious?
For the 2025 season, yeah.
If he's cut before or after what day? 35 million for who?
For Debo.
Oh, I thought you meant for Justin Tucker. I was like, Jesus Christ, dude, for a fucking kicker?
No. No, his dead cap next year would be 7.5 for Justin Tucker.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Yeah, Debo's was 43.3 this year.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, he just that's the reason why he didn't get traded. He would have been traded if it wasn't for that.
Yep.
He would have easily been traded.
Yeah. I mean, you messaged me earlier in the day too. Is this where we look at the Eagles at being a potential bet for
Super Bowl winner?
The Super Bowl winner.
Yep.
I need to look at the numbers, but
I mean, it's probably not good value anymore. It's probably like plus 350 at plus 400, but I would think the Lions are probably the betting favorite in the NFL, and then the Eagles and Bills and Chiefs behind them, and then the Ravens.
Yeah, let's see. Still fucking getting these. We don't have futures up right now because they haven't been updated from today.
Yeah,
let's see if we can find them out. Wants to win the Super Bowl. Well, 2 days ago, Vegas Insider should be updated, right?
No, the Vegas Insider is not updated till like tomorrow.
Okay. So as of
Steven said plus 475 on DraftKings for Eagles. That's not bad. I would take that, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing right now too. You can get plus 550 at Bally's. And what website is this?
Because I'll tell you one thing about the Lions, dude. The Lions are by far, in my opinion, the best team in NFL. But, dude, they beat themselves so fucking much, dude. Like, they almost beat themselves against the Bears, bro. They were up 16, and Jahmyr Gibbs fumbles at the goal line. They could have gone up 23, and it changed the whole dynamic of the game. I mean, that went from a blowout to a fucking game. And they do this so often, bro. Like, they beat themselves against the Bucks. They almost beat themselves against the fucking Texans, throwing the 4 interceptions. They almost beat themselves against the Bears. So, is there going to be a game in the postseason where they just absolutely kill themselves, dude? And it could very well be a possibility.
Yep. That's what I worry about with the Chiefs. I mean, I know the Chiefs have one of the best quarterbacks in the league too, but they keep themselves in games, and if something odd were to happen where the script flips in the last few minutes, because they've kept themselves in the game, they could potentially lose a playoff game.
Yeah, but the one thing with the Chiefs though is like if you're in a tight game, it's like there's no other quarterback you want in the league than fucking Patrick Mahomes, and that.
Oh no, I agree.
And that's the thing is like they're never gonna get fucking blown out. So if they're in the game, like you almost always have to give them the edge. I think they've gone through this like lull recently because their defense is kind of banged up. Like they've been pretty injured on defense, and on offense to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's kind of hurt them a little bit. But like I think Andy Reid, like I don't think he shows all his hand during the regular season, dude. Like I think in Andy Reid's mind, he's like, and I would say this for Patrick Mahomes and the rest of the Chiefs too. I think they just know like we just need to get in the dance and we're good. Yeah. Like last year they were a wild card team, or not a wild card team. They won the division, but they were on the road every game.
Yeah.
And they made the Super Bowl. It's like they've done this, you know what I mean? Like they don't care about these regular season games. Like they just need to win them. They don't care about fucking style points and showing off and shit. Like everyone's like, "Oh, you know, Pat Mahomes is having a bad year. He's having a mid-year." And they're 10-1, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah, but that defense has really stepped up this year.
Yeah, and their run game is really good too. You know what I mean? And so that's what's really carried them. But at the end of the day, is there a quarterback you trust more than Patrick Mahomes? Absolutely fucking not. I wouldn't bet against him. Would you?
Nope.
Fuck no.
It's a stay away game for me.
Everyone that said the Chiefs weren't going to make it to the Super Bowl last year and bet against Patrick Mahomes every fucking game, you know, they're kicking themselves in the fucking ass now because they made a fucking huge mistake.
Yep.
So, and the Bills are going to beat the Chiefs in a fucking playoff game? I mean, come on, dude. What are we doing?
The Bills can beat the Chiefs.
They already beat them, but playoffs, man. How many wins does Josh Allen have in the playoffs against Patrick Mahomes?
No.
0.
Yeah.
0. Big motherfucking donut. Can they? Sure. Will they? I'll believe it when I see it. And I sure as hell ain't betting on the fucking Bills. I'll tell you that much, Ben.
No. Nope.
I would not bet on the Bills over the fucking Chiefs. Either wouldn't play it or I would fucking play the Chiefs.
Yeah. There we go. I wouldn't play it.
I mean, knowing me, I'd probably be on the Chiefs just because. Last year, dude, riding the Chiefs all playoffs, dude, was fucking free money, dude. It was a gift. Every fucking week, man. Everyone's like, "Oh, the Ravens are gonna fucking smack them." Fucking what happens? Chiefs fucking win.
Did they cover those games though?
Yeah, they were dogs.
Oh yeah, okay.
They were like 5.5-point dogs against the Ravens.
Yeah.
Shit was insane. I was like, dude, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. The only game they weren't dogs in was to Miami. Remember in that fucking like -0 degree, fucking -8 degree game?
Mm-hmm.
They fucking smoked Miami.
That was their only home game, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Steven said, biggest score I had was when I bet the Chiefs plus 425 at the half in the Super Bowl versus Eagles. I was at the game. Had a hard time getting the bet off, but it fired off. Yeah, that's a hell of a bet.
Clutch, yeah.
It's a hell of a fucking bet, man. Fucking Patrick Mahomes, dude. What a fucking guy that guy is. All right, let's move on to the next game. Carolina at Tampa. This is actually one of the more entertaining games of the day. Carolina closed 6.5-point dogs. The total was 46. The total went over because of overtime, and Carolina covered. Tampa won. My only takeaway from this game, dude, is that Bryce Young is looking better and better every week, dude.
Yep. No, I definitely agree with you on that. Numbers, I mean, I guess completion percentage wasn't great today. 26 for 46, but 298 yards, touchdown, no interceptions. Um, yeah, and to think if I mean he's got quality around him, but he doesn't have that game breaker.
Yep.
And I think if they go out and spend some money this offseason, they can, they can definitely turn things around. What I worry about is what we were kind of talking about earlier with the Bears is like if they're going to go out and get another coach, then that's another year of Bryce
Well, the Panthers
learning a new system.
Canales is a fucking great coach, dude, and they just hired him. I think absolutely they keep riding it, dude, because this team is starting to turn a corner. They just need to get more talent, as you said. But Canales is, I mean, he's proven it. He has a proven track record, especially with quarterbacks. He turned Baker Mayfield around, and so I think you definitely let him ride it out, dude. And the GM's got to do his job, bro. He's got to get more talent on that roster.
Yep.
That's really their biggest hurdle, dude. Is they don't have a lot of talent right now, and so
It sucks. You just signed Chuba Hubbard to a big deal.
But I will say too, though, Ben, that division isn't great.
No.
And the Saints are going to be in a fucking mess for the next 3 to 4 years because they just have massive cap problems.
Yep.
From all those fucking contracts they kept redoing and pushing the signing bonuses and guaranteed money, and now it's all coming back to haunt them.
Yep.
And then Atlanta, I mean,
we got Derek Carr on a big deal, and he's not.
Yeah, the Saints are fucked, dude. The Saints are fucked for the next couple of years. And then Atlanta, fucking Kirk Cousins sucks. Who knows what Penix is gonna be?
I was just gonna say, when do they go to Penix? Didn't they just sign a 3-year deal for Cousins?
Yeah, I mean, that was such a fucking
with a lot of guaranteed money.
Bro, one of the throws he made today, I was like, dude, what in the actual fuck is he doing, dude? The one where he just like threw up in the back of the end zone, like, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
I was dual streaming that, but I don't remember that play.
Oh my god, dude, the guy just, I mean, he fucking sucks, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like that division's like hella winnable. Just get some more talent, and like you can easily compete for that division in the next year or two.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to the next game. We had the Rams at the Saints. The Saints are in fucking piss.
Yep.
They closed 2.5-point dogs. Total was 49. This was a sharp spot. I've seen a lot of sharp NFL guys I know on the Saints, and I was just like, yeah, there's no fucking way in hell I'm betting the Saints. So I totally stayed away from this game.
Same here.
The Rams won 21-14. Yeah, dude, the Saints they suck, dude.
Yeah.
And
they're all getting really old.
Yeah, that too.
So it's gonna be rough for them for a few years.
Yep.
Because they're gonna have to rebuild this offense because Derek Carr's old, Kamara's old, Taysom Hill's old, Valdez-Scantling. I don't think he's that old, but he's not that great.
Yeah.
Who was the young wide receiver that they picked up that just got hurt? That was showing flashes the first 3 weeks.
Chris Olave.
No, that's not who I was thinking of. But Olave and the guy's name starts with an S.
Shaheed?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's hella good.
So I mean they've got a good wide receiver core, but
they do draft well too, I will say that.
Yeah.
The Saints do draft well.
Taysom Hill was carted off today too.
Yeah. Yep.
But I mean even that Taysom Hill's kind of mid, so
I mean he's like a gadget player. He's not like a fucking stud or anything.
Yeah. And Spencer Rattler definitely isn't your QB of the future.
I think he could be.
I don't think so.
I mean, dude, the kid has talent. It's just, does he have it between the ears? That's the question. His talent is undeniable. The kid has a fucking cannon, dude.
Yeah.
An absolute fucking cannon.
Yeah, Rashid Shaheed. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, both Olave and Rashid are on IR. You got Rattler out, Jordan Mims out, Kendry Miller on IR, Lucas Patrick out, Justin Heron out or IR, Eric McCoy out.
Yeah, they got a
And
lot
then
of fucking dudes
defensively,
out.
they got
And they
Davo,
traded
Ford,
Marshawn Lattimore.
Boyd. What's that?
They traded Marshawn Lattimore too.
Mm-hmm. Cameron Peterson, Capassian all out too. Like they are hurt. But yeah. I mean, they showed flashes the first 3 weeks, which got everybody talking, but man, back to the normal Saints, which
Yep.
is it's unfortunate because that city fucking bleeds gold and black.
Yep.
I was out there for one of the weeks and went to the games last season and holy shit, does that city come together?
Yeah, but I mean, like, dude, they won a Super Bowl and they tried to like continue that Super Bowl run for way too long when they should have like let some of the players go, and you know, all the cap work they did is all coming back to haunt them now, and
Yeah.
now they're paying paying the piper, and I mean that's part of the reason why fucking what's his Sean Payton left is because he saw the writing on the wall.
He knew. Yep.
So he was like, "Yo, I'm out. Good luck, Dennis." Now
Yeah.
Dennis got fired. Steven said, "I saw the same groups on Saints. Never understood it. My best bet in the contest was Rams -2.5." Yeah, I mean, I didn't love Rams either. I wasn't running to the window to lay it with them, but yeah, there's no way I was betting the Saints. Dude. There's no fucking way. All right, let's move on to the next game. We had Pittsburgh at Cincinnati. Cincinnati closed 3-point favorites. The total was 46. This was another game. You know, some sharp NFL guys I know, they love the fucking Bengals today. And I was like, dude, I don't see it, dude. Like they always struggle against fucking Pittsburgh. I feel like Pittsburgh like owns them in Cincinnati. And Pittsburgh's defense is just so much better. Like Cincinnati's defense just fucking blows, dude. Like they're so bad. And it showed again today. I mean, the fucking Steelers put up 44 points and we're moving the ball with ease. And Cincinnati had 2 turnovers, and that was really the difference in the game.
Yeah. Did I see that it was Russ's most yards in a game?
414 yards, 29 of 38, 3 touchdowns. Had a hell of a game, dude.
Oh, season high 414. Okay, not career high.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a hell of a game. I was shocked. I opened up the app this morning to do some last minute bets, and I saw Bengals -7.
Huh?
I was pretty sure I saw it -7,
Nah.
and I was just shocked. I should have known to take Pittsburgh at that, but
It was probably a fucking error.
yeah, in our books, or maybe it was right after Cincinnati scored. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe because
'Cause I think
Cincinnati
they
they had a pick 6, I think, on the very first play.
Yeah, they punted. They went 3 and out, and then pick 6.
Yeah.
So maybe it was right after that.
Yeah, I was gonna say because it was definitely like 3 everywhere.
Okay.
But yeah, I didn't understand the Bengals love it. I feel like everybody's on the Bengals every week because they're just like, all right, they're gonna turn it around. They're gonna turn it around this week. They're gonna turn it around this week.
Yeah.
And it's just like they just never turns around. I am starting to feel the Steelers might be good. You know what I mean? Like they are better with Russell Wilson than they were with Justin Fields for sure.
Yeah. And I don't know. They keep throwing Fields in for a couple plays here and there, and I just don't know if it's worth it. I thought it was going to be good when Russell first came back, but Fields is not a good QB. And
Not good throwing the ball, but he is a dynamic athlete.
Even the running plays he did today weren't great.
Well, that's because every time he comes in, they know he's going to run the ball.
Yeah, 1 carry for 7 yards. So 7, that's not that bad, but I could have sworn he was in for more than 1 play today.
Probably was. He probably made a couple throws, but
No throws.
yeah, they just use him for like short yardage. They use him for like short yardage situation.
Yeah.
Because he does give you a threat running the ball, and you do have to account for him. But yeah, he's not a good thrower of the football, dude.
Yeah.
By any stretch. Yeah, I mean the Steelers are legit. They're probably gonna run away with that division at this point. Now that the fucking Ravens lost two out of their last three. That next Steelers Ravens game is gonna be fucking huge.
Yep. Absolutely huge. Week 13, so there's 4 weeks left, right? 17 weeks?
18.
18.
17 games, but 18
17
weeks.
games, 18 weeks, yeah. So a lot of these guys have 5 more games left. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I still am hesitant on the Steelers.
I think they're good, man. Their defense isn't as good as it once was, but it's still good, and their offense is a lot better than it used to be.
Yeah, good enough.
A lot better. All right, let's move on to the next game.
Wide receiver. Sorry.
Yeah, he's hella good. Tennessee at Washington. Washington closed 6-point favorites. The total is 42. Total flies over. Washington wins 42-19. Tennessee had like 3 turnovers in a row in their red zone. I mean, this game was out of hand very early. And, you know, I'll say this, dude. Like, I'm not going to be fooled by Washington beating up on these bad teams because every time they play a good team, they fucking lose. So, you know, yeah, they look good today, but
the Titans are bad.
Yeah, and they're not going to fool me anymore because every time I'm like, oh, yeah, this is a good team, and then they fucking play a good team and they fucking lose. So,
yeah, well, we got Saints next week. We got the Eagles the week after, the Falcons the week after that, and the Cowboys on the last game of the season.
So they have like 2 good teams they're playing.
I know they have a bye week this upcoming week, but yeah. But I mean, Cowboys beat them last time with Cooper Rush, so
yeah,
that's not a.
I don't think the Cowboys do it again though. But who knows, dude? You never know. You never know.
Yeah.
It's in Dallas too.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee just, I mean, they're a fucking mess, dude.
Yep.
And like you could sit there and be like, oh, you know, because their defense is actually like really good, but I mean, like you did not help your defense at all, turning it over like 3 times in your own fucking territory. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You're just.
What was time of possession? It was stupid. 40-19.
Yeah, it was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
At one point, the fucking Commanders had more first downs than the fucking Titans had plays run.
Yeah. Tennessee only had 2 turnovers today.
Yeah, both were like in their territory, like 2 plays and it was a fucking touchdown.
Yeah.
It was just terrible. All right, let's move on to the next game. Houston at Jacksonville. Houston closed 3-point favorites. The total is 45.5. Houston wins 23-20. Big story here was Al-Shire. What's his name? Al-Shaziz Shire, right?
Yeah.
He
was Niner last year. Should know that.
Al-Shire. Aziz Al-Shire, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just nasty hit on fucking Trevor Lawrence. Just totally uncalled for. Definitely deserves to be suspended for that shit.
Yep. Fucking forearm brace to the face.
Yeah, when he's sliding down.
It was his fucking brace too. Yeah.
I mean, that was just that was hella dirty, dude.
Yeah, one of the guys in my fantasy league was trying to defend it and just being like, "Oh, well, there's no consistency in the calls, so how do the defensive players know not to like when to hit and when to not hit?" But like he was clearly sliding down.
Yeah, he was definitely
and he
down.
Went straight to the head.
I will say this about QB slides. I do not like quarterback slides. Like, I don't think that it should be in the game because shit like this does happen and it makes the defensive players have to question a lot of times. You know what I mean? Is the quarterback going to slide? I don't know. Should I start to go with my tackle? But I mean, in this case, like, he was going for a slide and then Shire like went in for the fucking hit. Like, he easily could have fucking backed off and just let him slide. But I do agree. I don't like the quarterback slide. I do think it should be taken out of the game, dude, because it's so many times we see it it lead to fucking penalties. And a lot of times, like, the defender's already going at the quarterback when he's sliding,
Yeah.
and they still get called for the penalty. And that's my problem with it.
I'm just like, I don't think you can take that out, because if you do, then you're going to get a lot of fucking Tua and AR
It makes
like plays.
I mean, it makes the quarterback question running, or he's got to get out of bounds.
Yeah, but then I don't know. Yeah, it's tough.
Because the thing is like, this is a one-off, dude, because it very rarely does a guy like go after a quarterback when he's sliding. Like, this is very rare. A lot of times the guy's going after the quarterback before he's sliding, but it makes it look dirty because when he's going, the quarterback slides. And that's the problem I have, because then the defensive player is doing his job. He's trying to get the quarterback down, and the quarterback ends up going for a slide when he's already going for his tackle, and then he ends up getting a 15-yard penalty. Yeah. And that's an issue.
Yeah, that's the consistency, I think, that is the problem. The consistency in those calls. And I still think you have to protect the quarterback, but
yeah, but we overprotect the quarterback, dude. Like, you can't even touch the quarterback now. I mean, they're calling pass interference. I mean, not pass interference. I'm sorry. They're calling, like, roughing the passers when a defensive player is, like, already going at the quarterback and then just, like, pushes him.
Yeah.
It's like, or dude, what are we doing, the dude?
Quarterback puts his head down and it hits their arm.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and I mean, I definitely agree with you on that, but I think you still have to protect the quarterback when they're running like that.
I mean, I get it, dude. I totally get it. But Ben, like, it's too many times where, like, guys they're getting 15-yard penalties because for something that's out of their fucking control.
Yeah.
So what do you do? Like, it's a judgment call. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you make that a reviewable call? Maybe. Like they do in college. Like, that's the one thing college does have right, is the targeting call. Like, they'll call it a targeting call on the field and they'll immediately go to review regardless.
Yeah, and then reverse it if they have to.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, maybe that's what has to happen. Yes, it will extend the game a little bit, because you usually get one of those plays per game.
A lot, yeah, a lot of times.
Yeah. So roughing the passer and the slide rule gets reviewed.
Yep.
And 15-yard free first down is a huge penalty.
It's a huge penalty.
Yeah.
Huge.
That can change drives. So
yeah. That's the problem with it. It always does change drives.
Yeah.
Absolutely change drives. All right, let's move on to the next game. We had Arizona at Minnesota. Minnesota closed 3.5-point favorites. The total was 45.5. I mean, this was just a fucking disgusting choke job by the fucking Cardinals, up 19-6, and they lose the game. And I knew the second they kicked that fucking field goal to go up 6, I was like, dude, they're gonna fucking lose this game, dog.
Yeah,
they're gonna lose this game, and they need this game for the division, especially because the Seahawks ended up winning, and now it's uphill battle for them to win the fucking division, dude. And I mean, they absolutely fucking dominated this game, dude. 154 rushing yards, 252 passing yards. They just really couldn't capitalize in the red zone, and Kyler had a terrible fucking interception.
Yeah.
So that was the game, dude. And unfortunately, and now the Cardinals got to go back to Arizona, regroup, and close the season strong, dude, and hope you can win the division.
Yeah, who do they have left? Seahawks next week, which is massive game.
Massive.
Patriots, Panthers, Rams, and Niners. So
they have an easy schedule, but winning this game, Ben, if they won this game, because this is a game nobody expected them to win. If they won this game, oh man, it would have been so much easier sledding to win the division, dude.
Yeah.
But now you dug yourself a little hole.
Seattle has Arizona, Green Bay, Minnesota, Chicago, and LA. So there's still a shot.
There is a shot, yes. There definitely is a shot.
But
Minnesota.
it starts by winning next week.
What's that?
It starts by winning. They have to win next week.
They have to win. Have to win next week. Must win game, dude.
Yep.
Absolute must win game. For sure. Minnesota, they're right behind the Lions, them and the Packers, probably gonna be in the playoffs. They do play the Packers twice more or once more? Twice or once? Did they already play them? They already played them, right?
Minnesota has already played them. Play them once more.
Yeah, one more time in Minnesota. Right?
In Minnesota, yes, at home.
Yeah. They're both vying for the playoffs. I don't know if either one of them are gonna touch the Lions for the division though.
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's a possibility. They're 10-2.
Who's 10-2? The Vikings?
Vikings, yeah.
Yeah, they could. I mean, the Lions only have one loss.
Yeah.
That is true. I doubt it though. They still have to play the Lions too one more time.
They do. Final game of the season.
Yeah.
So that'll probably be for the division. It could be for the division.
Well, I think if they finish with the same record, I think the Lions would still hold the tiebreaker because they've already beat the Vikings once, and they definitely fucking blow out all their opponents. So their win differential is
the Lions did beat the Vikings. Yeah,
their win differential is definitely better.
In the division,
I don't know what their division point differential is.
Point differential. Gotcha. Division is 3-0. Doesn't go division and conference for seeding?
You know what? I don't even fucking know.
I think it's division and conference.
Yeah.
Well, head to head, then division, then conference. Division, Detroit's 3-0. Vikings are 2-1. Conference, Detroit is 7-1. Vikings are 5-2.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. Let's move on to the next game. We had Seattle at the Jets. Talk about another puke job. Jets were up in this game 21-7, and then didn't score a single point in the second half. The Seahawks win 26-21. The Jets closed 1.5-point favorites. The total was 42. They obviously don't cover and lose again. I mean, the Jets are just a total fucking mess, Ben.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to fucking describe this fucking debacle anymore.
And I think the whole locker room's lost because nobody seems to be putting up the effort.
I mean, they went up 21-7 today, and I was like, oh, dude, they're
but they went up 21-7 off of a kick return and a fumble.
I mean, they still go up 21-7, though.
Yeah.
It's part of the game, and then you throw a 92-yard interception, pick six to fucking Leonard Williams, fucking defensive tackle. That was really the fucking game, dude. I mean, Seattle didn't look good by them either, for what it's worth. Like, they didn't look like shit. They looked like shit.
Yeah. Yeah, but Breece Hall, 12 carries for 60 yards and no passes. Devontae Adams, 5 receptions for 66 yards. I mean, was the best. Garrett Wilson, 5 receptions for 41. Both of them, Devontae was targeted 12 times and only 5 receptions. Garrett Wilson, 10 times, 5 receptions. Hey, is that... I mean, I don't think that's all on Aaron Rodgers.
Why? No, I think
some of
Rodgers
it definitely is.
I think he's washed, dude. I think he's absolutely washed.
Some of it is, but there were some bad drops today too, and
I mean, there was also a lot of bad thrown balls, though.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't.
Devontae definitely had a couple bad drops. Like he had one that literally went through his hands. I mean, Devontae's